Good morning, everyone. I'm very glad to be here today. My name is Cheikh Faye. I'm a senior research officer at African Population and Health Research Center, headquartered in Nairobi. So my talk will be about innovation in research data dissemination, and some of the innovation we've started with the Chandred project. I wanted to share our experience on that. So my talk will be outlined as you see it here. Just a few slides about what is APHRC and what we are doing. And about the microdata portal we have been working on with Chandred project. I'll also give you an overview. So digital object identifiers, why? Why do we do that? And why do we have to do it? And the support we've received from the Chandred project and some of the challenges I will have to share with you. So basically, APHRC is an Pan-African research organization which is based in Nairobi. Maybe some of you might know about APHRC. So we have our vision is Africans that enjoy the highest possible quality of life through policy and action informed by robust scientific policy. So basically, it's just a research organization employing African scholars. Actually, we have about 50 or more than 50 African scholars from different countries in Africa who are there and who are doing research. And our research areas include some of these things. As you see, we have a big research department. I mean, I don't want to say department, but it's like the main component of it is research about research. And we have now some department here. We are dealing with aging, about the old people, education. We are dealing with health challenges and systems. We are dealing with population dynamics and reproductive health, and urbanization and well-being. Those are our 5 units of research. But all those units are supported by our statistic and survey units, which is dealing actually with whatever is about data management, data processing, and data sharing, where I come from. And also we are supported also by these 2 other one, the policy engagement and also our research capacity center, which are our 2 other departments. One dealing with how to translate our research into really policies, actually. And the other one is now about strengthening research capacities in Africa. We are funding PhD students to pursue their studies in some of the universities in Africa and also in the north. In the north. And this is just an overview. I'll just briefly. These are some topics we have been studying in the past few years. Education is one of them, and also urbanization. As I told you, we have done some studies in urbanization in Africa, not only in Kenya, Uganda, Senegal, Togo, and even if you go to Nigeria, you'll probably see and also about population. The issue of family planning, fertility issues, sexual reproductive health, all the family planning, those are issues actually we are also. So we will see a lot of publication from APHRC researchers dealing with these areas. And this last one about health challenges, as I told you. So now, what did we do actually? Because in our case, we think that APHRC, we are collecting a lot of data. As you can know, actually, we have maybe hundreds of surveys, data that we have used in the past, which are actually stored somewhere there, either in files, questionnaire, or either in electronic form, but not available, just somewhere there in our laptops. So the point is thinking about putting in place a system that can allow other researchers and other scientists in the world to access our data, to access our publication. Not only, in fact, it's not about publication, because I know the publications actually are available from journals. But the research material, what we call actually is, if you have a study, you have a protocol, you have a questionnaire, you have a sampling design, you have mainly some table or something like that you want to share with people, those are not really available necessarily from the journal publication. So we want to do a system where we have all those things together so that researchers can benefit from that and really have use of that. So these are things we did, tools we have used. We are using a platform, a system that is called NADA. Maybe some of you might know that there are some tools that have been developed by APHRC project, which is in fact a funded World Bank project, which is dealing with, in fact, data sharing in the world. So actually, we have used these tools to put in place a platform using a microdata cataloging tool, which is named, I told you, NADA. And this is a very robust tool, by the way, for full data life cycle, how you can see, and somewhat different from other open access federation, but really very interoperable. So those are, and actually this is how it looks like. Maybe some of you have seen this kind of catalogs, probably. If you go to the World Bank, they have something like that. And ours, actually, we have this kind of portal. It's accessible from everywhere you are from the world. So it's free access. No one has to pay anything to access to this thing. Actually, we have about 30. This one have been presented it was in January, but actually we have about 30 survey that have studies which are there. And it's very friendly, and actually you can browse and go through every study you want and decide to download data or download materials or submit a specific data request. So there is an online form you will have to fill in to just request the data. So what we've done now with ChainRed is exactly now introducing this issue of digital object identifier. Why do we have to do that? Because we think that in fact, usually researchers in general, they really want recognition of their work. One thing is to publish in a journal and put it there, so anyone can access and download it. But another thing is, when it comes to the whole study, I mean the study materials, questionnaire, sampling, tabulation, even do files, and all those things, that you can now upload there, so that whoever from anywhere from the world can go there and access. So the PC is, we think that those materials that we could put there can be used and can be cited, because the issue is, usually when researchers go to those things and access those, you can use a questionnaire, maybe without maybe not citing it in a publication. But what you want the researcher to do is, once they access those things, using now specific identifier, they can do the citation as they do a normal citation for a journal, for a journal article. So actually, it is like that metadata should be cited in scientific public. What we call metadata is not the research public, it's not the article, it's the all of data, things, material that are related to the specific study. So, and all those things we think that can be cited very easily using, they are, as I say, these are some examples. Let's say we have a sampling farm, which is very interesting maybe for some researchers. Someone might have to, a sampling farm might not be available from a journal article, okay? But it is there in our portal. So someone can have a look on that and maybe want to use it. And also some technical report and maps, all those things. So it's difficult when it is in that format to be cited single, I mean, has a single element. So what we think that is, it is important to cite those things using this, and this is what it looks like actually. Those, I mean, every study in that portal have been assigned a unique DOI way you can use and cite it in every public, the way you are citing an article or you are citing. And we have also a recommended citation we have there in the for example, this is an example of one of our study, which is dealing with verbal autopsy, which is there about, and you can also add it in a reference manager. If you are using EndNote or if you are using Formais, you can add it there easily and cite it properly. And one of the things, actually, this is how, I mean, if you have to use EndNote, for example, you can, there's a cataloging thing and you can do everything and cite it properly. And what we've done is that we have also added a recommended citation. For example, if you are interested in this particular study and have used materials from that study, this is, you have suggested a way for you to cite that particular study. And actually, this is one which is dealing with the epidemic of unsafe abortion. We've conducted in 2013 in Kenya, which was a very huge survey, in fact, which was really very, very high impact level in kind of policy. And this is the DOI. So this DOI is unique. It's the way you have in journal articles, and you can cite it everywhere, it will direct you to this one. And now with Chenred, what we've done is we have an MOU with them. We've signed an MOU in July, and then Chenred proposed solution to fit it with open access. Because for them, for Chenred, it was in fact a new area for them, because it was really the first time they have seen those kinds. And it was for them now to see how to fit in fact, our needs. And the problem actually was that they spend a lot of time to understand actually our needs and our need of issuing specific DOI to our data. So I think they use some specific tools, EPIC, PID issuer, and reference implementation of PID using existing data set. So Chenred has really helped us to document actually about 57% of our studies. In fact, our number of studies actually to be documented are more than 100 studies. Remember that we have been doing research surveys since 2001, in fact, in Kenya. So there's a huge amount of data that are being stored there, which are actually yet to. So actually, we have about 57% of the study that are being and with this prefix. It's a specific prefix. Wherever you see this prefix, that mean this is dealing with APHRC materials. And a blog have been developed by Bruce, who is here, and who has helped really on this one. And this blog has really helped people and our users, our visitors, to understand exactly what we are doing and why we are going to this direction. And it really improved our visibility, the visibility of our data. Actually, if you see the map in here, this is how it looks like. I mean, from the Chenred's knowledge base, you can directly access to our portal and visit and download data or whatever you want in terms of study materials. And this is how, what we can call, in fact, the impact. Because from the time we started this collaboration with Chenred, we've really seen that our number of visitors has really increased. We have a lot of users who are coming now to our portal to see how to really benefit from our materials. And if you look at this graph, this is actually from in November when we started this one. This is our number of the number of view, in fact, the number of hits. And actually we are, this is what I did maybe in 1 month ago, but actually we are maybe about 80,000 view. And it is really increasing. And by the time we introduce this DOI, it really go up. It almost double the number of view. So it's really a good impact, really, of our collaboration with Chenred. And actually we have two kinds of users. The registered one, those who are really registered there in the portal with a username and password and everything, who can access and submit a data request. But also we have, those are about actually 69. They are just like, but the others who are not registered users, who can go through visit the website, the portal, download some material, but not data. Because for you to download data, to request for data, you have an online form you have to fill in. And for that one to be done, you have to be registered. But you can also decide to be not registered. But for that one, what you can do is only to download questionnaires, maps, materials, tabulation, and all those things, but not data. For you to access data, you have to be registered, because we need to know who are using our data and for what. Because that online data request form will tell you exactly what you are doing with the data. Because one thing is to use the data, but another is to know what you are doing with the data. And so that once its publication comes with out the data, we can know actually what you did. And actually we've received about, about 51 data requests we have received in 10 months. And the number of downloads overall are not very far from exactly 10,000 downloads, just for a period of, let's say, even 9 months, actually. And those are really some of the impact I wanted to share about this collaboration. But also we have some specific challenges wanted to share with you. And maybe this occasion might help us to see actually what we can do in the future. The first one is about, sustainability. That was a big question, because actually this portal, all these things have been done using our own funding, actually, because we did not receive funding from anyone. While, for example, the World Bank have funded about 70 organization or 70 national statistic agency in the world, okay, in Africa, let's say, to do this exactly. But ours, we do not receive any funding. We've used our own funding, our own staff, our own material to develop this thing, and we are actually looking for really partnership with the relevant partners actually to really think about really sustaining this portal. And we have some proposals we have developed. We are actually submitting one proposal to Welcome Trusts, which is really interested in actually sustaining this one, but actually it is just under negotiations. And one of the key challenge actually we have is actually the knowledge transferability. In fact, we know that this has been a project, a specific project, but the project is actually ending, right? And for us to continue doing that, we really needed Chenred actually some kind of transferring the knowledge, I mean, for us, to our staff, so that even if the project is not, will end, but at least our staff can continue doing this and issuing those DOI. So we really wanted actually kind of training of some of our staff to really be able to continue the work actually. That was really a challenge we've raised, and I hope actually we'll have some solution about that. And about, as I told you, 43% of our studies are not yet documented. That will be done probably in the next few months or years. And actually, what we are documenting actually is about 10 studies a year. I mean, what we do is actually is once we finish a study, we have about 1 year up to 2 years embargo. How do I call embargo is, as the researchers, we need also to use the data first, to use it and publish exactly using those data. And once now we finish those 1 year embargo or 2 year embargo, that's where now we start uploading those data on our portal for public use from everywhere, because there's no need, for example, to be publishing something while someone else actually on the world is doing the same. So we need really to make sure that also we are published, and then people after that can start using those data. And we have about 10 studies we are documenting a year. And the replication, because actually APHRC is based in Kenya, but we have a lot of projects in other parts of Africa, in West Africa, in the southern part of Africa, in Malawi, in Zambia, and all those things. But we wanted really to see how to really benefit, I mean, have our partners in those areas benefit really from those things in terms of collaboration and replicating that this collaboration. So actually, that's exactly one of the main challenges we wanted to do. So just some acknowledgement, maybe to finish my presentation. We really appreciated this collaboration because it was new, and in our case, it was a bit challenging. As I remember, from the beginning, it was not very clear to us whether we are going, we are not going. We had a lot of discussion, and our development, our procedures in terms of policy, engaging with partners is very complicated, it's very long, and it was very hard for us. But once we started, we have really seen the interest, the importance of really having this kind of collaboration. And we've really learned a lot from Chenred in terms of really how to increase our visibility, how to increase the impact of our data. We don't collect data and store it for us. We don't need it. We do need our data to be used by people, by universities, by researchers, by academicians from everywhere from the world. So that's why really we think that this one is really something very important with an achievement for. And thank you very much, Bruce, for really that blog, because that blog was very, very important. Even our partners from the northern part have seen that, visited that blog, and oh, you guys, we are talking about you here. What is happening? And that's how this thing started, and we were very glad. And that's exactly how even, I think, Welcome Trust, which is in fact our partners because he's funding one of our projects, but that's how they really believe that exactly they can join in and they can do something and help us really increase our impact. So thank you very much for your attention, and I hope I'm right at the time. Okay, so good.
Is there any question for Cheikh? Yes, over there.
Thank you. My name is Bonnie Kunga. I'm from Zambia. Just a quick one. I wanted to find out the linkage between your organization and that of KENET, which is the Kenyan Research and Education Network. how you collaborating? Thank you.
The Kenyan National Education Network. Yeah. So maybe I might not give you exactly the complete answer of that, but I know we have a very big education department which is dealing with education research in Kenya and many part of, the eastern part of Africa. So exactly, maybe I need to talk to my education colleague there who are dealing with exactly that. But I'm sure we are collaborating, we are doing research together, and we are maybe informing some of their policies. Because actually, the issue is, for us, we are not policy makers. What we do is we provide the evidence, we convince the policy maker that this is an area really we need policies, and we help them to design and implement those policies. And one of those things is what we did actually with the abortion here in Kenya, because we've really impacted on that. We've really pushed the thing in terms of developing the policies and then making sure that the government now is aware of the epidemic of unsafe abortion in Kenya, and try now to put in place some policies, really, and we're very glad of that. So I'm not sure exactly, but what I will do is probably I will engage some of my colleagues from our education department to maybe learn more about exactly what they are doing with that particular network. But I'm sure there is something and kind of linkage with them. Thanks.
I think that there was.
Cheikh, thank you very much for that testimony. It's heartwarming to see that the effort that we put into these things goes right down to where the researchers are. It's really fantastic. So one of the reasons that we've been, me personally at least, quite quiet in the last period is because we were preparing a new proposal, which we've just been told a couple of weeks ago will be funded. And at the heart of this proposal is now a project called SciGaia, is data repositories and identity federation. And so the question that we have for APHRC and institutes like you, because there are many of them in Africa, but we don't see them, is the following. If we provide a technology solution, then we need some kind of community anchor to let it diffuse out there. So the NWINs are playing this role for us in most cases, but the nice thing about the APHRC is that you have this nice contained social science community, right? So we need from institutes like the APHRC this kind of the network that you bring with you. You know, you can reach out to the individuals who are using your data and say, this is the new policy for citing data, and you can get the feedback from them to say, well, you know, actually we don't want to log into your portal. We want to be able to do something else. So these are all the things. This communication, this collaboration, has really been very fruitful for us. I'd like to thank you and your institute for really, you know, adopting these things. It's been great. Thanks.
Sorry, thank you. Quick one. It's fantastic you're trying to obviously allocate DOIs and increase the citability of your data sets. But my question is, citability is fantastic, but discoverability is also very important. So in terms of your metadata schemata that you're using to describe your data sets, in your domain, in your area, is there something specific? Do you adhere to some community acknowledged metadata schemata to describe your data sets and your data? Or is it something very generic? How do you annotate your data?
Is it working? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. So, I mean, just because the first one about Bruce is just to tell you, to inform you that actually, the reason why we wanted, we were encouraging people, the registered users to be really there and have their email is that we want to have their feedback. Actually, we are planning a survey monkey, actually, because we know them, we have their email. So we'll design a survey in terms of really receiving the feedback from them on what are their experience on using that macro data, in terms of exactly, are they really satisfied of that? On how satisfied or how unsatisfied are they? So those are things, actually, maybe in the next few months we'll design that and we'll be able to gather information from them and maybe report to also Chandred on, tell them exactly this is what our users think about this actually portal. And the other one is actually, in this portal, there are two things. All the materials we are uploading there, which are not data, I mean maps, all those things are in PDF format, easily downloadable. People can go browse and download easily. But the data actually are mainly in stata format. But what we do is, if a specific user is not fine, I mean, is not really willing to use stata, we can ask him or her to tell us in which format he wants the data, and we can provide the data in that format. And what we do is, in that specific thing, we not only put the data there, we also put the proposal, I mean, the technical method, what have been done, which sampling method, which population, what are our response rate. So, I mean, it's a huge amount of information that are there that can help people understand exactly what the data are dealing with, what is the representativity of that data, either in Kenya or in a certain study area. So I think that we are doing something to increase the discovery, but however, we are also open. We are really open of any suggestion, anything that can really help us improve what we are doing, because we don't think that we are doing the best thing in the world. It's not possible. But we are trying to do our best with our own means. But if there are any kind of collaboration or any kind of suggestion you might have, we are really open in discussing those issues with you. Thanks.
If I may just add something. So there is a metadata federation and a metadata schema, very similar to OAI PMH, except this one is the International Household Survey Network. So there's a huge network of repositories, all using the same metadata schema and documenting, as Cheikh said, their data in the same way. What they don't have is a metadata, let's say one of these trawling mechanisms to discover repositories and expose the metadata in a semantic way via a single gateway. That they don't have. This was actually a very interesting problem for us. We haven't solved it. It's going to be quite a big deal. But if we could do that, then we could expose all of the world's social science data via a single gateway, just like we did with the ChainRed's knowledge base and the semantic search engine.